There are moments in life that test not only your own strength, but also the courage of those who watch silently from the sidelines. Often, the toughest battles aren't fought in the skies or on war-torn fields, but in the most ordinary of places, where no one expects the spotlight to fall. In a quiet little town, inside a roadside diner on an uneventful evening, that very spotlight shifted. A group of rough-looking bikers barged in, thinking they could mock and belittle a woman who had already endured battles far greater than anything they could comprehend. But this wasn't just any woman. She was a decorated F-16 fighter pilot. Though now seated in a wheelchair, she carried the unshakable spirit of someone who had soared through the heavens and lived to tell the tale. What unfolded next left every single person in that diner trembling, and served as a reminder that true heroes are never truly alone. If this story moves you from the very beginning, pause for a moment. Show your support. Hit the like button, share this with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Stories of Kindness, where courage and compassion come alive. And please, I'd love to know, where are you watching from? Drop your country in the comments, because bravery knows no borders. Her name was Captain Emily Rhodes, a pilot with hundreds of flight hours logged in the cockpit of an F-16. She had braved combat missions overseas, dangerous takeoffs, and moments when her life dangled by a thread. But one mission changed everything. A mechanical failure during a critical landing drill ended her flying career, and cost her the use of her legs. In an instant, the woman who once flew at supersonic speeds above the clouds found herself bound to a wheelchair. And yet, Emily wore her Air Force jacket proudly. It wasn't a reminder of what she had lost, but a badge of honor. Proof of her sacrifice and her resilience. Still, not everyone saw that. That evening, the diner buzzed with chatter. The scent of frying bacon, and the clinking of coffee mugs. Emily rolled in quietly, ordering her meal with dignity and taking a seat near the window. For a while, she was invisible. Just another patron. Until the doors creaked open. A gang of bikers entered, their leather vests and tattoos announcing their presence before they even spoke. Their eyes fell on Emily. To them, she wasn't a hero, just an easy target. They circled her like vultures, sneering at her Air Force jacket, mocking the insignia, and scoffing cruelly. One even leaned close, tapping her wheelchair and uttering words sharper than knives. Comments she had heard far too many times. They ridiculed her legs, her service, her sacrifice. Emily's heart pounded. Not from fear for herself, but from the memories their cruelty awakened. She remembered the crash, the fire, the medics pulling her shattered body from the wreck. She remembered the endless nights of therapy, the tears, the screams of frustration as she learned to live a new life she never chose. But what pierced her most wasn't their laughter. It was the silence of everyone else. Eyes glued to plates, hands fiddling with napkins, voices locked in fear. She wasn't only facing mockery. She was battling the indifference of bystanders. And then, just when it seemed her dignity would be crushed, the diner doors opened once more. Heavy boots echoed on the floor. 35 men and women, in crisp Air Force uniforms, walked in, their presence electric. They hadn't arrived by chance. Emily had been on her way to meet her squad. Her brothers and sisters in arms. The very people who never left one of their own behind. The bikers froze. Their arrogance dissolved instantly. The Air Force unit spread across the diner, no raised voices, no fists thrown, just silent authority. One soldier stepped forward, placing a firm hand on Emily's shoulder, and the unspoken message filled the room: she is not alone. She never will be. Whispers rippled through the diner. The bikers backed away, their bravado shrinking under the weight of 35 piercing gazes. The eyes of warriors bound by loyalty and honor. Their mockery vanished, replaced with shame. The predators had become prey. Emily looked up at her unit, tears welling. For so long, she had carried her burdens quietly, believing her struggles were hers alone. But in that moment, she was reminded that the Air Force was not just a uniform. It was a family. Her wheelchair did not diminish her. It amplified her story, because true heroes don't fall. They rise. Again and again. The bikers eventually slunk out, stripped of their false pride. In their place came applause. The once silent diner erupted. Families clapping, truckers cheering, some even wiping away tears. Respect filled the room where cowardice had lingered. The waitress brushed her eyes with her apron. And Emily, once mocked, was now honored. That night, she didn't just reclaim her dignity. She reminded every soul there of a powerful truth. Heroes don't always stand tall. Sometimes, they sit in wheelchairs, bearing invisible scars but carrying hearts that refuse to break. And when one hero is threatened, an entire family of warriors will always rise. So, dear friends, if this story touched your heart even a little, I have one simple request. Please like this video, share it with someone who needs courage today, and subscribe to Stories of Kinness so we can keep spreading light in a world that needs it. And before we end, leave a single word in the comments describing how this story made you feel. Was it proud, inspired, moved? I would love to read your words, because your voice matters.